Hello and welcome back to Music with Mascots. I have a sleeping cat over there who's supervising this. And today we're asking a question. Now, the reason this has come up, because it's come up a couple times. It's come up a few times in the last few months with me. I had a niece ask me about records that were left to her by her father-in-law, and I don't know if they were left to her, they were left, and there was nothing to play them on. And I've since had a sister from my birth family that I just recently met and asked me a question similarly. She had some vinyl from her kids from when they were growing up she was interested in possibly listening to. And the question is, can you get into listening to vinyl for under $100? Now, other people that might be interested in this is maybe a young person who's interested in trying it out, seeing what the medium is like, having heard a lot, but they don't have any real money to put into it, which is, kind of how we all started, right? The first stuff I bought, I was still a teenager living at home, working a summer job and buying a piece of equipment here and there as I could afford one piece and another. I started off with a cheap unit that was everything, that had cheap speakers, it had the drop turntable that you could stack records on, it had the receiver built into it, and I got that for my 13th birthday. And it was great. It started me on this rabbit hole that I have gone up and down several times in my life. And there were periods of my life where I didn't really do anything with it. Music is a journey, and not all of us can start the journey at the same place. If you're a multimillionaire and you're retiring and you say, oh, I finally have time to listen to the music that I've wanted to listen to all my life, and I'm just going to be able to sit down and listen to it. You're in a very different place than a kid who's in a lower middle class family or just starting working and just wants to find out what it's all about. So this is for probably the former, or for someone who can be any age but is just interested in maybe getting started and doesn't have any spare cash to put into it, because we're all in a world right now where most people don't have spare cash. So, can you do this for under $100? Yes. Is it easy? No, but it's kind of fun. So you gotta look at it from that perspective, and you're gonna spend a little time. Maybe not. Maybe you get lucky the first time out. So, what are you gonna do? What do you need? Well, you need a turntable, because I'm assuming you have one or two records that somebody gave to you. You have something that you want to listen to, but you don't have anything to listen to it with. So you need a turntable. That's the thing that spins. You put the record on it, and it usually you're going to have 33 RPM or 45 RPM. The 45s are the small ones, and this was a question that was asked. So this is the average size of a 45. And what does the 45 mean? That's how many times it spins revolutions per minute. 45 revolutions per minute. The 12-inch ones are 33 revolutions per minute, normally. Now, there are exceptions. There are 7-inch records that spin at 33 RPM. There are 12-inch records that spin at 45 RPM. Those are noted on the records so that you can find it out. And you can change the speed on your turntable. The job of the turntable is to take the signal that's on the record and transport it to an amplifier, and the amplifier transports it to the speakers. Now, you can do this in several ways. The signal coming out of the turntable is tiny, very, very small. So you can't, it's not a signal you can take and even send to a powered speaker because it's not a strong enough speaker. So you have to have something that's amplifying that signal, even if you're going to powered speakers. All right, let's see what we got here. This I have not tried out yet. This is a Pioneer. This one needs some work. This was $10. Let's see if it works. This one does need some other stuff. However, this one is a higher end turntable. Doesn't have a stylus on it, so you would have to buy a stylus and a head shell, or you'd have to find something like this. Usually comes with one, but it may not. So that would be an added expense. Okay, it just went through its shut-off cycle. This is also a direct drive, so that's a more expensive turntable. Floating suspension. This is $10. This is nice. It's not going to be that much to fix up. The dust cover is kind of a mess. Audiophile 2M Red. So this is $109 new. The head shell is $15. So if you had to go out and buy it, you'd have some money spent there. Now I'm not going to set this up as perfect. We want to find out first of all if it works. Now, I think I'm hearing why it's $10. We know it turns on and works. Put a record on here. Now this is a fully automatic turntable. Makes a little noise, which we're going to have to get into and diagnose. But I'm not going to diagnose that now. We're going to ignore that for the moment, okay? Because that is not what we're here for. So I got a $10 turntable. You got a used head shell and stuff put on it. So let's say I managed to find something like this for $50. Where am I going to find something like this? Garage sales. Garage sales. Your grandparents' attic. Ask your relatives. Anybody have some old record players lying around somewhere? Probably they do. You'd be surprised. They may even have some old records that you might want to get and clean up and start spinning if you start enjoying the hobby. Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. For something like this, I'd stay away from eBay because you're going to have to pay shipping. And with eBay, you never know what you're going to get. I buy stuff on eBay, but I'm planning on fixing it up, and I kind of expect it not to work if I get it. Did my video on a Riga turntable that I got a good deal on from Facebook Marketplace. So you can go into Facebook Marketplace and put in turntables, and you're going to get a slew of them. You'll see stuff for $50. You'll see stuff probably for free if you catch it at the right time. You'll see stuff that works. You'll see stuff that doesn't work. You'll see stuff that's inexpensive, and you'll see stuff that is wicked expensive. You'll see everything. Picked this up at a garage sale for $15. Now, if you go to a garage sale that has any kind of electronics, you're going to find something like this. This is heavy. This is a regular amplifier. If you're buying this check to make sure you've got a phono input. If you've got a phono input, you don't need the preamp. It's got one built inside it. Depending on the manufacturer, some of them are pretty good. The one that's inside this Technics is actually pretty good. I used this for a lot of years. And I'm actually probably going to be using it again. The only thing that, for me, it doesn't have good speaker hookups. Because I have banana cables to my speakers here, and this just takes regular cables. So I'll probably use this somewhere else. But it does have the antenna. It's got an FM antenna hookup. It's got an AM antenna hookup. If you actually want to listen to the radio at some point, that's built in. This has a regular ground. This is where you would hook the ground up for your turntable. Now, but once you have this, you need speakers. Where are you going to find speakers? The same place. You know, ask people, go to garage sales, go to Facebook. Facebook Marketplace has tons of speakers. The problem with speakers is they're heavy. Nobody's shipping speakers. You can get good speakers relatively cheaply on Facebook Marketplace, but you can also get expensive speakers expensive. Make sure when buying speakers that you listen to them. If somebody says they sound great, but you can't listen to them, don't buy them. Odds are they won't. If it's someone you really trust and you know, that's okay. If it's someone that's going to give you your money back, if they don't sound great, that's okay. But a lot of times you can't tell by looking at them. I've got a pair of old teal speakers here that looked perfect. I mean, the price was so cheap that I bought them knowing that there was probably something wrong with them, even though the guy told me there wasn't. And it's a problem that I found listening to a trombone jazz album. The mid-range speaker on it buzzes at certain times offensively. Doesn't happen very often. And the guy figured, well, you know, he's not going to know that unless he plays X kind of album. And, you know, it's all right. I'm going to rebuild the things anyway. So I don't have a problem with that. But you don't want that problem. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to try out the speakers. If you can find that amplifier for $25 or thereabouts at a garage sale or somewhere. So these are KLH bookshelf speakers. They're not expensive, but they're even less expensive. I got these at an estate sale, and I bought a bunch of stuff, and I got all of it cheap. It was like the third day of the sale, and there's going through stuff that wasn't going to sell real well, and this was with a bunch of audio stuff that I picked up. These were like $25 for the pair. Were they worth it? Absolutely. They actually sound pretty good. Back here, I got this this Yamaha AV system. This thing's a beast. It's not the greatest quality in the world, but it's good. It's decent. I paid like $25 for this too. And again, it was, you know, the end of the estate sale. So they were just, whatever they had left, they were getting rid of. And they were willing to pay like anything just to get rid of it. So you want to see what this can sound like? Let's just flip this over for a second. This side, I think, sounded a little better. And yeah, I'm using a classical album because it's what was sitting right here. Let's see what we got. It would help if I plugged the phono in. was under 50 bucks, 25, 30 bucks, something like that. 25 bucks, 15 bucks, 25 bucks, garage sale. 25 bucks for the speakers, under 100 bucks. The nice thing about this particular system, it's all upgradable. You can upgrade the turntable, or you can keep this turntable. I'm going to fix it up. If you tested one out and it didn't have these problems, you'd probably pay a little more for this particular style. Again, it depends on your budget. I got a really nice Pioneer that I paid $100 for. Works great, has a good stylus on it. I'm just going to do a service to it and flip it and resell it at some point. I may upgrade the stylus, put a little higher price tag on it, because it sounds good and it's worth a good stylus. This will too, by the way. If I get rid of that bzz, bzz spinning noise. Last time I had a problem like that, all it needed was some oil. A little spot in the motor that says oil here. Put some oil in, fix the problem. People don't take care of their stuff. They just use it till it breaks and then they get rid of it. Direct drive unit. Some people hate direct drive. I don't. I like direct drive. I also like belt drive. I like turntables. I like music. Thank you for joining me once again. Get into the hobby for under 100 bucks. Still can be done. You gotta do a little shopping. See what you find.